the next few weeks, you'll actually have a multitude of people that contacts that you didn't quite have a hand on, people you weren't real good friends with, complimenting you on such a ridiculous thing. Word has actually passed around about this very quickly. You managed to tell a lot of people about a Jaguar shapeshifter. A Jaguar shapeshifter hunting you down. Or not hunting you down, hunting down your quarry, taking it from you, and then you taking it back. Whether or not you intend to, the video of him standing there laughing and clapping is manages to somehow leak out of one of your comlinks. You're not quite sure who. And
it was Coyote. I'm just gonna say now.
Coyote leaked it on purpose.
Accidentally on purpose.
I mean, Twitch may or may not have sent it to Mr. Monday for laughs.
And you'll find that a number of people seem to be complimenting you on this run.
Good deal. What does Snowman have to say when Coyote says, "All right, I hope that fixes everything up"?
He's very genuinely pleased, very happy that you've managed to make a very solid contact with someone you don't know, actually. Whether or not you know it, they appreciate your efforts.
Say, I did want to send a message to the Johnson. The second thing I wanted to do was forward the rest of the payment to the group that the contact information I got for the information which ended up leading to this. As such, we don't actually end up getting 5,000 each. Whenever it's deducted, we get like we'll give Coyote the extra Nuyen for his awesome exemplary drones.
More bullets!
Yeah, I listed myself as having 1,667 Nuyen spent.
Well then, that concludes your first run in LA. That is actually all of your first major run where you knew that you were playing with the AAAs. And with that, I do mean AAAs as in plural.
Right, because we know that Ava was also involved.
Yep.
Yeah,
So,
we got Evo and Aztec.
And, you know, fucking dragons.
There was a dragon?
I
guess Evo,
considering
you're
the
right.
iron company of that girl.
Right, that makes sense. And I'm sure we'll never hear about about the dwarf girl again.
Ha.
So, I think that'll be the end of the session. There was a little bit more, but I think that can be better fitted to the start of next session.
Works for me.
Also, the time skip will be about 3 weeks. So
enough time to spend karma.
Yeah, plenty of time to spend karma. You can each also take either an additional karma or 2,000 new yen for the time off during that week, or you can spend a couple of weeks doing something if there's something you need to have done.
An additional 2 karma, you said?
An additional 1 karma or 2,000 new yen. Either time training, time working, or time doing something else.
Alright.
Player would definitely rate this group 4 out of 5 stars. Had some problems with the mundanes and their incomprehension of important matters as pertaining to the awakened world, but, you know, no, they turned out to be useful and practical in the end.
No, I think the take-home is that, man, those Mondays are dumb, but I need some drones.
Legit.
Is that any qualms I had about using 10 of my build points for Perceptive +2, in addition to stacking so many of my build points into increasing Perception, I'm perfectly okay with.
It did allow you to see everything.
Something interesting to note, Twitch has, over the course of this entire, these 2 sessions, fired 1 shot.
At least it was a hit, though, so that's good.
Yeah, it was a knockout, too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that 1 shot didn't turn out well. I'm just saying.
Well,
Twitch
then,
isn't doing that much gun thuggery.
Which is a lot of chance to.
If anything, Twitch finds it preferable, getting paid to do very little.
There you go. No wear and tear on your weapons, no extra ammo needed to buy, and you're not in harm's way, so triple bonus.
That said, I do want to ask, any complaints, comments, or anything else?
Nothing in particular.
I think so far the first 2 chapters have served well to introducing us to the Shadowrun world, as well as to the City of Angels, Los Angeles in particular, in that it's a different animal than Seattle is, and how, you know, brooding and depressing it is. This is, you know, high life chatter where even the corporations, particularly Horizon, tend to be a little laid back in the whole violent and gritty approach. Since this is like Tinseltown, and it still tries to style itself as the amazing media capital of the world, I'm perfectly okay with avoiding combat. I feel as if my character has been useful and enjoyable as I built him, which is nice because of how fucking long I spent on building him.
I do have to say, I am sad that you never got a chance to take on the big brawny dude.
The Hispanic guy, the Jaguar guy, you mean?
Yeah, the Jaguar, the shapeshifter. I am sad that you never got to see him in action. But there is always a next time. Until there's not.
Yeah, yeah. The fact is, he survived. He's still out there. He's still in the area. I'm sure we'll never see him again, though.
For that, I certainly feel as if we handled Chapter 1 as well as this chapter very well. We had some more snags as we had to do some legwork in this session, and we had some complications just from trying to process everything we've done, but we found enough leads, and although we had to sacrifice some of our payment, ultimately it ended up panning out well, and Of course, we could have gotten into a confrontation at the beginning whenever Trusair apparently noticed all these things, but I just didn't think it was appropriate. I mean, we've gotten confirmed messages from the Johnson's comlink. It's not our fault he's not picking up the phone. We're not responsible for his safety. We can't babysit him, and, I mean, we have no reason to doubt it, and even if we do, I mean, it's money. We're getting paid 20,000 Nuken. Whatever, we're gone, bye.
That said, I am glad that you did come to the opposite way, because going that path would have been very, very bad, because word would have spread very quickly that you had, one, taken money from a Johnson and not done what he asked you to do, and two, you would have been working, people would have seen you working for Aztecology.
Yeah, honestly, I think that we made the right decisions based on what we knew at the time, both when we handed the girl over to the Jaguar man and when we decided to work on the cheap to fix the situation.
Yeah, I do too. And from Coyote's point of view, he was pissed off at Snowman, but he's like, man, I can't burn this bridge because he needs some money for his business. And so that's why within an hour or so, he turned right around and said, all right, I'll fix this.
And Twitch needs the money because come the fuck on.
She needs to buy her body back.
Pretty much. Or at least the shiny parts.
Had the least to lose, if only because he's a magician and can still do a nice job of getting work. He just didn't want the whole, like, is he actually working for Aztechnology affiliation with him? Because that might have just led to Pueblo Corporate Council getting interested, and he doesn't want that. I think the sessions worked out well. It's a shame that Jordan couldn't be here, but I just imagine that during his time, what he missed out on this payment here, he gained in, like, he just, like, builds a stack of racist human bodies.
Yeah, about a week into your break, he says, still busy, and you get a clip of just piles of bodies. He's still down.
Hey man, he decided to take the scenic.
I mean, the great thing about having, what, body 6, 7, and punches that never run out of ammo, are electric, and deal like 8p. He can basically fight forever.
Yeah, I'm just visualizing him running in there, beating people up for several hours, then just stopping, brushing himself off, taking a few steps back, taking a picture, moving back forward, and kicking more ass. So, sorry, I gotta tell people where I am.
I suppose, the question, I mean, for whatever reason you're disappointed that we didn't fight the Jaguar guy. I don't know, Sean. Do you feel as if, like, what kind of opportunities did we actually have to fight him other than whenever we were going to hand off the girl? I mean, I was thinking about if we didn't get our money to just take her back. But, I mean, beyond that, I don't know why else we would have fought him unless he was actually in there and he wanted to stop us from taking the girl. But he obviously got whatever he wanted, or it wanted, whatever that was.
Actually, 2 times. One, the one you already mentioned, the when you dropped off the girl. If you hadn't given her to him, that would have resulted in him attacking. 2, at the warehouse, Toxic Warehouse. Basically, the only reason he didn't get out there is because he really screwed his roll to detect guys. Like, really badly. It was just the one roll he got of to cast Detect Magic, or Detect Life, and he got 1 success.
Been able to detect Twitch were it not for the counterspelling dice protecting her.
Yep.
Yes, I assume the memory drug was given so that she would forget whatever it was he had done or said to her immediately before we ended up arriving then.
Details on that I actually can't give out because that will give away too much.
And as for the girl herself, she actually had the recipe vial thing inside her cyber hand still?
Actually, no. When you turned over the girl, I thought I mentioned it. I may have forgotten to. When you turned over the girl, it wasn't there.
I figured that it had probably been extracted through some way, but you hadn't mentioned one way or the other, so I thought I'd bring it up.
Yeah, you never got a chance to break open her hand and see. The Johnson didn't hold it against you or anything. It was someone else got to it first. It was things could have gone better, but perhaps the girl will be of some use anyways.
I was hoping to return her to her family after all this. If only I could have found that formula. Comparison you made about that Cripson, and we never find out what happened to Leslie Cutter again. I was concerned whenever I made the character and remade the character and remade the character of how effective the situations would end up being. I'm like, do I have enough spellcasting dice? Do I have enough dice of this? What sort of purpose or role am I serving in this campaign? What am I doing? Do I want to lose the point of willpower by not having exceptional attribute? How do I make this? And after, seeing all the various builds of the characters that people had, I, of course, knew that having the negotiation thing was a weakness. As even though Twitch has a tons of charisma, she still doesn't do it that well. And no one really had good perception. Of course, the drones can do everything, but Twitch and Vice were really lacking on that front, so I decided to build up with that aspect. And as it turns out, the 14 dice for the visual perception thing, as well as auditory, really useful.
I'll tell you, making Twitch a highly talented novice, both because of the backstory and because it would give me a really good avenue for spending karma to improve the character instead of just cash.
Right. Yeah, I was going to say, even with Coyote's drones, none of them have 14 dice in perception, for crying out loud. I think the highest one would get is maybe 9 or 10 max. I'd have to look again.
Next question is, what other avenues did we have of finding the girl's location that we didn't find or we didn't explore?
I actually didn't put a too much thought into that because, one, I wasn't sure you were going to lose her in the first place. I was expecting you to, kill the Hispanic man like one round of combat. And I did make sure to give that method as a path that could be taken no matter what. I did pre-roll to for the her sensing you, which is why I was surprised about the astral chameleon and basically said whatever anyways. That said, she did have some edge dice, so she probably would have made it if I had rolled those. I don't know. I'd have to see the numbers. I don't know. So I actually didn't put too much thought into it. I just sort of winged that a little bit.
Nothing wrong with that. I thought it played out well. I was just curious.
Yeah, I really liked the way we went all that way, and then we're like, dang it, now we got to buy off a favor to get the last 2 feet to the goal or whatever. That was perfect.
It wasn't a favor. It was 4,500 nuyen from our earnings plus 100. So, I mean, it cut into profits a little bit for each individual. Like I said, instead of earning 5,000, you earned 3,467, whereas Twitch and Truesayer earned 1 nuyen less due to the fact that someone has to get an extra nuyen. Might as well be the driver who basically terrified the attackers.
Yeah, well, to me, the favor, I guess, well, it wasn't really a favor, I guess, on her part, but her getting in touch with you at all, and so we were able to pay her off to get that information.
Oh, and I got a moderately damaged light machine gun out of it. Speaking of which, how much is that going to take to repair? And if it's a lot, how much can I pawn it off for?
Buy it for half price, and you can't really sell it. It's pretty scrappy. It'll get you like a tenth of the price if you were to sell it.
All right. And what type of machine gun is it?
Let me check. An Ares MP LMG.
Fantastic.
Coyote might be able to help with that. I mean, he's more of a general mechanic, but I think that overlaps.
Well, I mean, Twitch isn't going to not pay him.
Yeah, I was kind of running off the idea that if he doesn't have the skills and it's for parts, whatever, it's somewhere in that ballpark.
Oh, okay, I got you.
I mean, you still have to get it to work on a human hand. You have to replace the trigger and everything anyway. So there are parts that need to be bought.
So yeah, whether Twitch pays you or some other mechanic to fix it up, yeah. That said, Twitch probably will come to Coyote because you're the main mechanically inclined individual that Twitch knows.
Yeah, but like Sean was saying, I suppose most of the cost is the parts anyway. So whatever the fee is, it's going to be a lot less than half the cost of the weapon. I don't know how much that is.
And there is one small recommendation I want to make, that you hold on to a good chunk of your money. That don't buy a year of lifestyles, because sometimes you got to buy things.
Hey, I'm saving towards buying that debt off, remember?
Yeah. You won't hit the next month before the next run.
This is an Ares MP LMG, right?
Yes. I have the stats written down. I don't remember anything else about it.
It comes with a hip pad bracing system, a laser sight, and gas vent 2. Nice. Oh, and it's forbidden.
It may also have ridiculous, whatchamacallit, availability.
Recoil?
No, it's 12F. And it does have a recoil of 3, it looks like.
Yeah, I think a lot of the machine guns have an automatic 1, plus it's got a gas vent on it.
It seems that once again the party managed to do incredibly well. Well, this time the shapeshifter didn't roll a critical glitch. He just rolled poorly on detecting us. Because if he detected us, then we would have had to fight him, according to Sean. And if we would have had to fight him, then that would have been annoying.
Yeah, if he had detected you, he would have jumped you from behind.
My eyes! My beautiful eyes!
He's eating your beautiful eyes?
So love the 7 hits I got on my 8 initiative dice to do just nothing but pout and lay down on the floor as the drones killed everything.
It's pretty nice.
Yeah, well, you know, this was the perfect storm for my drones because I can't, I mean, one of them has a machine gun that just shows. I can't take that out in public most places. And the other ones are more situational. So probably won't have all 3 of those every time we do something.
As for like drawbacks or anything bad about the campaign, or at least the first 2 chapters, I don't think so. Obviously, we are continuing to adjust to learning the rules, and so that's problematic. But beyond that, I think everything went well. I don't have any major, I don't even have any minor thorns or problems I have with the game. It certainly helps that we're used to spending so much time with each other after, you know, playing Vampire the Masquerade for a half year, and although this system has taken longer to learn, I mean, I feel so much comfortable in this than I did in BTM, that's for sure.
It's fair.
All the rules are cross-referenced unless it points to the original book, then you've got a 50-50 chance of it pointing somewhere random.
About the only thing that's missing is that every time I hear Crypton's voice, I still think of Byron Rand. Every time I hear Sean talk to me, I wonder how hasn't he thrown us under the bus yet? Even though since I'm a player now, it just messes with my head.
How do you like the new improved dwarf-sized version of Byron Rand that does not stick feet in his mouth at every turn? Isn't it pretty cool?
From being computer illiterate to knowing so many things about computers now, Crypton, it's amazing.
You know it. all he had to do was shrink his body, grow his mind. That was the secret.
Best I got. I'm definitely going to take the plus to karma. I don't think there's anything I can think of right now that my character wants to do during the weeks. If anything, it would have been to try to get the girl and try to find some way to return her to her family, or at least the fun city. But since she's practically needed in order for the corporation, Johnson, who hired us, to extract the formula, then, I mean, that's a no-go. And beyond that, I mean, just living easy and free, because it turns out that wasn't that bad of anything in the grand scheme of things. And those Mondays, they did all right.
Yeah, you never actually...
Nobody important got shot. I mean, there you go.
You actually never found out what corp you were working for either. It's the only one that, while you have suspicions, is genuinely unknown.
No, ultimately, my character is okay with that. It's immaterial. We're deniable assets. They pay us to do things that deniable assets do. If we had ever figured out, that would have reflected poorly upon them.
And poorly upon us.
And it would have maybe caused a repeat of, you know, what happened with Lone Star.
Yeah, that's a thing too. That is definitely a thing.
Would getting a few mods installed on my new LMG count as an action that would not get me that 1 point of karma?
Do you have someone that can buy and sell you weapons mods for very illegal weapons?
You know, I guess I don't.
Then yeah, you'd spend like weeks searching for someone.
You could ask one of your, you know, new friends that helped you get that gun. Maybe they know people.
But then I'd owe you money or favors.
That is a thing. That is true.
I tell you, you wouldn't know me in favors. I'm not a part of the Camarilla. I take Nuyen.
That's why I said money as the first option.